Hi guys, today I've got a quick planting project I want to get done. I'm going to be working in the mixed border hedge behind me in our backyard along the back fence, and I'm going to be transplanting an emerald green arborvitae and replacing it with a purple leaf sand cherry. I noticed the other day that entire mixed border hedge that I started last season is all green, and I want to break up that color. So the purple leaf sand cherry is a beautiful tree, and I think it's going to look really pretty in the mixed border hedge. So again, I don't have too much experience with this tree other than what I provided for it last year, which was keeping it hydrated and keeping it in as much sun as possible. But from everything that I have read about this online, I can tell you this much. It gets 6 to 10 feet tall, 5 to 8 feet wide. It's hardy in zones 2 through 8. It likes neutral to acidic soil, moist, well-draining soil, and full sun. It blooms these pink and white blooms early in the spring, and they're so beautiful. Now you can trim on this a little bit, but I would recommend not, just kind of putting it in a place where it can kind of do its own thing. But if you do have to prune on it, I would prune on it right after it's done blooming, and the blooms are so pretty. I think I even have a picture of when it was in bloom, and they're just these beautiful dainty little flowers, and I love them. Now, one thing I am going to keep an eye on is this is susceptible to Japanese beetles, spider mites, mealybugs, so it could be a finicky tree or it could be a problem tree. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to give it a try. And if I notice that there's just too much of like an insect pressure, insect problem, I may end up replacing this tree as well. But I do think it deserves its shot in the landscape. Now, another thing I read was that if it doesn't get enough sunlight, the leaves will start to turn green. So just keep an eye out if you do plant one of these. If you notice that you're not getting that deep, rich burgundy color, it probably isn't getting as much sun as it needs. So again, I'm gonna keep an eye on all of this stuff and report back to you guys. I also think we have a storm rolling in again, so we're gonna have to kind of hurry this along. So this is going to be replacing this emerald green arborvitae over here. Boom, right there. Because you can see this whole area back here is green, 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 green. And while I do like it, I do think a splash of color right here will kind of break it all up. So we're gonna pop this one out and put this one in. And for this project, all I need is my shovel and my starter fertilizer. All right, I'm gonna get this in the ground and then I'll come back and show you how it looks. I got it planted in its new home, and I think it looks absolutely perfect in its new spot. It breaks up that wall of green perfectly, and it's just flowing and blowing in the wind. I love that. Now, you probably noticed that I did plant it one way, then pulled it out and flipped it around and planted it a different way. That's because I noticed with the breeze, it was a little deceiving trying to figure out the front and the back of the tree. But once I had it planted and I stood back and the breeze settled a little bit, I realized that I planted the back of the tree in the front facing forward. So I just pulled it up and flipped it around and got it all repotted again and back into its home. So let's just take a look at it because I love it. So here it is in all its flowing glory, and isn't it just pretty there? Now you can tell that the vase structure it looks a lot better knowing that the front of the tree is facing forward and not facing the fence. But it was a little deceiving. I'm not gonna say it was a little deceiving with the wind trying to figure it all out. So again, if you plant something and you step back and you realize it wasn't the way you wanted it, pull it up and switch it around. It's not gonna hurt anything. Plants are a lot more resilient than we give them credit for. But I think this is just so nice. And if I back up, it's just like a nice break from all the green. And it's gonna be so pretty. Now I am gonna keep an eye on it. Look how it sways. Now I am gonna keep an eye on it because again, when I was reading up on it, it did say, you know, Japanese beetles can be a pest, spider mites, you know, a whole host of things. So if for any reason I notice anything, I will treat it. If it becomes too much, I will pop it out and replace it with something a little less high maintenance. But I will keep you guys updated, and we'll just kind of see how this purple leaf sand cherry goes. Also, I think I forgot to mention, this tree is deciduous, so in the wintertime, it will drop all its leaves, but we'll still have winter interest from all of the branches and the stems. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.